Hey guys, welcome back. We are back in business with a microphone that actually works now, so I can finish up some of the videos that I've started previously. The last one I was working on was this Rudder, and I'll play a clip here in just a minute, and I think on that clip I was working on these, the tapes. I think the rib stitching was already done, and I was talking about putting on these tapes. Yesterday, I put this perimeter tape around the back side of the Rudder, which I'll show you. And then after that, we're going to put on the last piece to finish the Rudder, which is the pink tape that goes around the leading edge. So we'll play the old clip first, and that clip has bad audio on it because when I filmed that, I didn't know the microphone wasn't working, but everything after that should be good. After this pink tape is dry, I take my iron at 230 degrees and I just go over the pinked edges. And the iron is hot enough to smooth out the edges, but it's not really hot enough to shrink this 2-inch tape. And you want to be careful doing this because on one of my other airplanes, I did learn the hard way. I went to do this, and what it did was it shrunk the tape and actually had a curve in it. I don't remember, you can't really fix it once it does that, but I don't remember if I just left it like that or took the tape off and redid it, but you just want to make sure you don't want to melt your tape. And then at the very edges here too, I want to iron these down. And there's two different ways you could do the ends, like this end and this end. You can cut it with the scissors just like I did, or you can cut it with the pinking shears and get that jagged edge. That jagged edge will show under the other edge tape. What I do is I cut the tape with a pair of scissors in a straight line, but I do it right on kind of the seam where the tube starts to curve away. And what I've noticed what that does is when you put that other tape on, it just makes that disappear. And especially when you kind of iron the edge of it down like this, it just kind of melts it in, and it's almost like there's no edge to the tape. So it works really nice that way. You could do it either way. So I'm just going through and smoothing out the pinked edges here. And you'll notice a difference. If you feel it just how it is after you glue it, and you feel it after you go over with the iron, the iron really helps set those, the edge of that tape down. And then again, I'll go over the edge, or the top edge up here. And that's it. Do that to all the tapes. Now the rest of this is going to be a voiceover because I recorded this before I had my microphone fixed. But what I'm doing is getting ready to put this 2-inch pink tape around the perimeter. And I'm just ironing it in the very center. And what that does is it just kind of activates that glue and holds that tape in place. I could peel it off if I wanted to. It's not permanent, but it just kind of gives it it sticks it in place so that you can work with it. And I find this part easier to do on the workbench. That's why I took it off of that little stand. I have my iron set to 250 degrees, and all I'm doing is ironing that pink tape over so that it conforms to the shape of the Rudder. Otherwise, you'd never be able to glue it down. Now, on the back of the Rudder, where it's fairly straight, it's pretty easy to do. But this area right here, where you start to get more of a curve, you really just have to have patience and keep working at it until you get all of the little wrinkles out. And you'll probably have to turn up the heat on the iron. Around this area, I put the iron to 300 degrees, and that just helps shrink the tape a little bit more and get rid of all the little wrinkles that are around that corner. But if you keep working at it, you'll eventually get it to lay nice and smooth. And then once you do, you can obviously glue it in place. It just takes a little bit of work and a little bit of patience. Now it seems like when I film myself, no matter where I put the camera, at some point I'm going to block the view. But you can see all I'm doing here is just gluing that tape on. And what you do is you really saturate that tape so that it soaks through and bonds with the fabric on the Rudder. You can lift the tape and put the glue under the tape, But on these curves like this, it really kind of, it's harder to do if you lift the tape. So I just really saturate that pink tape and let it soak through to the fabric. Now when you do this, you also really want to make sure that you cover the pinked edge. All those little pinked corners or triangles on the edge of the tape, if you don't completely soak those with glue, you can have those pinked edges lift up on you later. And with the Stewart systems, once you put the glue down, you use one of these blue shop towels and wipe the glue off. And what it does is it sort of helps press the glue into the weave of the fabric and then also removes all the extra. So this is what it looks like when it's done. And then I'll flip it over and do the exact same thing to the other side. So just like I did on the other side, I'm just shrinking that tape around so that it conforms to the shape of the back of the rudder. I always start with the easy part, which is the very back of the rudder, because there's not much curve to it, so it's easy to do. But the top and bottom, where it really starts to curve, is where it takes a little bit more work. Now the final step, as far as tape goes for the rudder, is to put a piece of tape over the leading edge. And I have a piece of 2-inch tape here, but you'll notice if I center the tape on here and fold it over, the tape really almost doesn't even cover the edge of the seam here. Because when I covered this, I put the front piece on first, or let's say the right side first, and it wrapped around. And when I put this side of fabric on, it comes around and wraps over, and you can maybe see it ends right about there. So if I put a piece of 2-inch tape here, the tape basically ends right where that seam does, which I don't want. So if I use a 3-inch tape, and I put it on here and bend it over, you can see that it covers the seam, and it has a little bit of overlap for strength. So I'm going to use a 3-inch piece of pink tape on the leading edge. So I've laid this tape on here, and we have 2 hinges here, and then somewhere around here there's 2 other hinges. So I want to cut out where those hinges are at. So I'm just going to mark them. And I know you probably can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just marking the edge here. I'll show you that in a second. Then the other hinges are down here. While that's in place, I can make sure I didn't move it. And then I can mark these hinges down here. And you can just see the little marks I put on there. That just shows where the hinges are at on the top and on the bottom. And then I can just cut out a little opening so that the tape fits over those hinges. Now, before I cut this out, what I like to do is I like to put just a tiny bit of glue on here. Just cover the area where I'm going to cut out. Because if I try to cut this out without the glue, it's just going to fray and turn into a mess. So I'll put the glue on there, let it dry, and then I'll be able to cut out a nice square opening on there without the fabric fraying. Just want to use a very little bit of glue. And then we'll just wait 10 minutes or so for that to dry. Now once this is dry on the tape, I'm just going to draw a little square on here that I want to cut out. You don't want to make it too big. Now if you can see that, but there's a square. Actually, this one's a little off center here. Let me fix this one a little bit. All right, that should work. Now, what I'll do is fold this in half again, and then I will take my scissors. I don't know if I'm going to get this in the camera or not, but I'm just going to make a little cut there, a little cut here, and then I'm going to cut out that little square. Then you have something that looks like that. And once you get it cut out, you see what it looks like there. We're just going to put it over the hinges like that. There we go. Now that's ready. Now obviously I'm going to have to do some trimming down here where this control horn is. Well, not that it'll matter for you watching this video because this will all be on one video, but this is as far as I can go today because I am completely out of glue. I do have more on order, so as soon as I get that glue, we'll finish putting this tape on. All right, actually, before I close up shop for the day, I just want to do this. And this is what I was showing you on the trailing edge. I'm just taking this iron and that little bead of glue that I laid down. This is just kind of bonding it together so that it sticks in place. I'll just go through the leading edge here like this. And I'm going to turn this up to 250. And what I'm going to do is just like I did on the trailing edge. I'm going to start at the very leading edge here and just work it around because I want this 3-inch pink tape to fit as nicely as it can before I start putting glue down. Because if you try to glue it down while it's just straight like this, it's going to be much harder for it to stick in place and it might lift up. So I'm just kind of creating that bend in here. Now, one of the goals for putting on any pinked tape is to have a nice straight line. Like on these, the lines are perfectly straight. This one here, it's not, if you look at it down, maybe I can show you, well, let's see if I can do it from this end. It's not perfectly straight because you see like this area right here and here, where these hinges are welded on, there's another welded piece that goes around here. So basically this is a much bigger diameter than this. So that tape obviously is going to be kind of shrunk up around there like that. There's really nothing you can do about that. You can try to, what I've done in the past is I've turned the iron up a little bit and tried to shrink this down to match that. And I may see if I can do that a little bit. And then over here, there's a big doubler on the main spar of this rudder from about here down. And so it's obviously a bigger diameter. So what happens on here, if you can see, is this kind of starts to go uphill like that to where it's a bigger diameter. So I'm not sure there's much you can do about that. But, you know, anytime you put on these tapes, the goal is to make them as straight as possible, working with what you have, I guess. Like I said, with the different size tubes that are on there, I don't know if there's much I can do about having a nice, perfectly straight line all the way across. All right, I wanted to show you, I did want to try this. I turned the heat up on the iron, and I ironed all the spots that were hanging a little bit lower than where the hinges were. And you can see it's much straighter now. It might not be 100% perfect, but it is straighter. So I originally curved this at 250 degrees and I worked all the way up to 300, just in the areas that were not hanging, or that were hanging lower than the hinges. It's kind of tricky to do, and you have to be careful because it is possible to, if you don't get it perfect, you'll make that really wavy and it'll actually make it look worse. which isn't too big of a deal right now because if I wanted to, I could peel this whole tape off and start over. But I just wanted to fix a little bit of that. You can see here, it's much straighter now than it was before. So unless somebody is really, really inspecting it, then it'll look perfectly straight. All right, this video is already 15 minutes long, so we're just gonna end it here. On the next video, when I get my glue, we'll finish installing this tape here, and we'll get the rudder all the way up to the gray primer that I have on all the other tail pieces.